Methodist Sports Medicine, the official sports medicine provider for all states.
All right, welcome Triton Trojans fans. Andrew here alongside Kenny Barnhart and the Hall of Famer Ryan Limmer, the man in the middle tonight. I slipped it in there early, so I didn't forget. As we're live here at Oregon Davis High School for this sectional 51 matchup between the Lady Trojans, or I guess a rematch between the Lady Trojans and the Lady Satellites. Earlier in the season, these two teams met, and Triton fell in that one, 46-33. The only difference in that game, we didn't have a Whytnie Miller. We had a Whytnie Miller in that game. We won't have her here tonight. So we'll see what these girls can do. This team is a very good defensive team. We'll see if Triton can come out and play that great defense that they're known to play, and then be able to answer on the offensive side when key moments. We'll see who can step up tonight and bring on those points after a tough loss the other night against North Judson. Triton finished 4th in the HNAC with a record of 4-3, not bad, the 6-16 overall record. South Central on the flip side of that is 16-6 on the season. South Central is the favored team in this 51 sectional, as they got about a 45% chance of winning that one. Oregon Davis is second with 36%. Triton sitting there at 4th with 6.68. So, as some people say, so we have a chance. Yeah. So you're saying there's a chance.
We got to see that team that we played at the Bi-County in Argus. That's who's got to show up for us tonight.
And a lot of times you do have this different mindset. A sectional, you got to win to go on, or you're done.
Because they're favored by 16 here tonight, so it's win and go home, like you said. And that you got to play desperate tonight. This is you got to know your backs are against the wall tonight. You're gonna have to play with that desperation. This is a team who looked very, very well-rounded against Argus, but one thing tonight where it's going to be played big, Chelsea Johnson's going to have to own the paint tonight. That's going to be her domain. She's just going to have to own it and really kind of do her thing and to really bring everybody down there to the post, and you'll be able to free Delanie up on the outside and different players like that. Jaela can get her penetration, just be good, be smart to basketball, limit those turnovers. In that game that they lost, you had player Johnson had 10 points in that matchup, Hostrawser had 9, and Faulkner had 8. So Groves didn't really get a lot of scoring going. She only attempted 3 field goals the entire night. And of course, Whytnie Miller was out there. She attempted 5 times, but
she didn't have much points. She had looked at the rebounds. She did really good on rebounds, but as far as the points, she didn't have a lot of points.
The big thing they did force 19 turnovers, but on the flip side of that, they did commit almost 24 turnovers on their side. So for these girls tonight, they're going to have to play smart, move the basketball fluidly, be out there communicating, just watch your switches, do a good job playing that defense that they do a good job of, force those turnovers, but go down. That's got to translate to the offensive side of the ball tonight, because for these girls, in order to beat this South Central team, they're going to have to be all hands on deck on the offensive side. You get a good look, take it. So we'll get the national anthem here, and then we will have the starting lineups. We'll be right back on the Triton Trojan Sports Network. All right, now we'll get our starting lineups here tonight. Of course, Triton Lady Trojans are going to be in their away uniforms here tonight. Blue uniforms, gold letters outlined in white. And the Lady Satellites of South Central being white uniforms, black letters outlined in red. So there's our starting lineups for tonight. First for our Lady Trojans, Jaela Faulkner is out there with Delanie Groves, Lexia Hostrawser, Taren Yates, and Chelsea Johnson anchoring down in the paint. For the Lady Satellites, we're going to have Tomblin out there with Biggs, Wade, Wolf, and Wildfong. Did I say that right? We'll be anchored down the post for them. So 2 players to keep an eye on for South Central that scored the most points in that win they had against Triton earlier in the season was Wolf and Tomblin were the 2 big scorers for them with 10 and 14 points. So Triton matches up very well with this team. They just have to make them slow down the basketball and really have to make them earn them points. So Johnson will jump against Wildfong. The ball's up. We're underway. And it's going to belong to South Central. And they're going to work it up past here. Tomblin with the basketball. Quickly on over. They'll work around the perimeter. Tries to go down to Big. Shots up by Wildfong. Faulkner, but Johnson sends it away. Works it on over the right wing. Tomblin with it. On over to Wade. Tries to go down button low, but Hostrawser takes it away. So Triton now will take that defense. Now turning it offense here on this side. Faulkner past the half-court line. Gets trapped here in the corner. Drops it on down to Groves, and it'll go off her hands. But it looks like Wade might have got her hand in there enough to knock it away. Delanie will inbound. High pass to Faulkner, and she'll set. They're going to meet her up there with that trap. Triton has had a hard time with this trap in some of these offensive situations. Yates drops over. They're going to say she traveled when she tried to twist that pivot foot. You can't really twist with that. That's what caused the travel.
She just tried to reach around and just pulled her that back foot just enough to get that travel.
That was the right idea, though. I mean, she knew she had to get herself kind of in a better position, and she did, but just kind of head got a little bit ahead of her feet. Wade with the basketball, left wing, kicks it on over. Biggs with it now. They're working around the perimeter. Wade to Biggs. Back to Tomblin.
You got to remember, I don't know how much practice time these gals got in this week with all the school and everything closing that, they may have just had a good walkthrough today and haven't had anything for 3 or 4 days.
I've been a little frozen there just watching. Blocked by Hostrawser. So Lexia Hostrawser, 2 big defensive stands there. But like you said, though, all week everybody being kind of frozen, kind of cooped up at home. We'll see.
You geared up for a Tuesday night game and then get everything shoved away.
Now on South Central on the fast break. Yates gets in there and knocks it away. Good move by Taren Yates to break up that fast break. But yeah, that definitely plays into effect. When we see them come out of Christmas break, and everybody kind of came out kind of rusty from now on. But tonight, this is going to be a little bit of a different ball game. I mean, Tuesday night, like I said, you're ready to go, and then you get pushed off to Friday night. No practices, none of that stuff to kind of get yourself through. It's going to be interesting to see what Triton can do here tonight. But if they can make this game ugly on the defensive side, that might be Triton's big chance to really pull out a win here against South Central. Tries to go down low, going to go off Wolf's hand, and Triton gets it back. So there's 3 good defensive stands for Triton.
Yeah, they haven't had a good look, or South Central hasn't had that good look a shot. They just tried a couple shots that's gotten tipped away.
And they got a few blocks, and then Hostrawser stealing it away. So Triton's doing a good job on the defensive side. Can't backpedal, go against her. Good crossover move by Faulkner, but she loses the basketball. And we're going to get a foul, a reach. I believe it's going to be on Jaela, I believe. She reached in there on Biggs.
Yep.
And it is.
They got the wrong.
Yeah. Faulkner.
It's on Faulkner. I was like, no, that's not right.
Say, Abby's not out there. Drops down the corner. Biggs back on over. Faulkner got a piece of it. Meets Tomblin. Back to Wade. On over to Wolf. Wolf with the basketball is going to try to work down the right side. Leaves it out. Wildfong for a corner 3. It's in. So there's our first points of the game, and it comes from South Central. Johnson with it. They're going to say over and back.
Yep,
she caught it.
Yep, she didn't have her feet across the line. Did notice that was a rule that they tried to change a little bit this year for getting back and forth across that line. Kind of reemphasize what the ruling is and like that, where she had both feet on the front court and then didn't have established across the back court. Gets it over back call.
Now let's go to establish that, because some of that stuff can be kind of a gray area. What do you do? And try to straighten it out, make it a little more defined for these officials. Wolf drives and finds the bake open. So for Triton now, just keep your composure in this moment. Nice pass. Hostrawser for a nice shot. Deep 2 for Lexia Hostrawser.
Oh, they gave her a 3.
They did give her a 3. I was going to say her foot was on the line.
Well, the scoreboard says 3.
Okay, well, we'll stay with the 3.
The announcer said 2. Scoreboard says 3.
Oh, I thought I saw the official motion for a 2. We'll see. Faulkner almost carries and tries to fall away, but she'll travel trying to get her balance back. Now Adam Heckaman tells him to check and make sure that score is right. I'll take that. They can take a point off of theirs. And
Yeah, let's say they think we still.
Well, things must be a little frozen down there too.
There they go.
Now we're fixed. All right, here we go. Wolf will inbound. Gotta believe she's going to go to Tomblin with this one, and does. She'll get ready to set. On to Wade. She tries to find a Wolf in the paint. Gets corralled quickly. Wildfong's alone in the post, but Hostrawser blocks it again. It's taken right back away by Wade. Groves tips it away, and Faulkner comes away with a good defensive stand there. Now translate to the offensive side. Can't wait for the defense to come to you. Go attack them. Tries to go through, but looks like South Central got it. Wildfong had a possession for a moment, went out of bounds. See what Triton can do here on the inbound. Well, Ryan, you videotaped that game, so when they played up there, I wasn't here for that one.
That was, what, 2.5 months ago?
I figured you'd remember it. So Yates now is going to split the defenders and try to go back to Groves. The sharpshooter's got it. She tries to go somewhere, almost travels it, hangs onto it, finds Johnson. Johnson tries to go to Hostrawser, throws it away. Miscommunication there. And Heckaman goes down to the bench and tells Alyxa Viers and Emma Hepler. They're going to get instructions on what they need to go in there and what they need to change to get the ball motion around, because that trap's really giving these girls fits now. Working on the perimeter. Wade down, tries to go down to the corner and can't get it there, and it'll go out on South Central. Triton will get another offensive possession here. With that pressure they're putting on there, that half-court trap, Triton's just got to keep pushing the ball forward and just really be looking to pass in. No, we're going to go with it. Yates is going to try some dribble drive, but Wolf's going to knock it away. Tip by Faulkner. Yates is going to try to get on the fast break, but Tomblin gets it back.
Should have just grabbed it. Tried to tip it ahead, but it wasn't going to work.
So granted the scoreboard, but so far a defensive stand, they've done a real good job on several possessions trying to hold them on the defensive side. They've just got a couple. The offense is just not quite what they're really wanting to get.
They're just not getting in sync when they get down here. Until they get broke through, they got those fast-paced passes, and then they're pulling them back, and then they're just not getting in sync and getting an offensive set going.
Well, and like you said earlier, too, that makes things real difficult being off for those 3 days, and today was a 2-hour delay. So, I mean, you're going to bed late, you're waking up earlier, however the routine is.
Yeah,
you're not playing. You're at home. You're sitting on the couch. You can't go out and about because it's almost too cold to be go outside. I mean, people were throwing pants and shirts in the air, and they're on social media, and they were freezing before they hit the ground. So I mean, you're inside. You can't get out moving like you would be like school. I mean, at least when you're at school, you're able to walk and move around the hallways. You're not sitting the whole day.
And kind of your normal routine.
Exactly.
So.
But when now, as a parent, you mess routine up. Danny right now will tell you mess her routine up. It ain't pretty. It's not pretty. She's listening down in Cincinnati. I'll give her a quick shout out. She doesn't miss too many of our games. You guys be real proud of her, or at least Ryan will be real proud of her. She was telling everybody that we have the best pretzels. She told the whole nursing staff we got the best pretzels around. Of course, she wore her Broncos jersey and was telling everybody that her 2 favorite teams are the Broncos and, of course, Billy Smith and the Triton Trojans. That's what she told them. She's all about Billy. So there's Danny's shout out. Wade now with the basketball back to Tomblin. She's going to drive. Tries to go on the out to the corner. Not there. Finds Wolf top the key. She's going to drive. Kicks on her to Wade. Wade wanting to go right. Goes left. Tomblin. Biggs has it. Tries to go back. They're trying to work it in. Wildfong in the corner. They got an open Biggs, who tries to go through, but she's going to travel on the way across. Kind of skip that left foot just enough. Took too many steps. Can't do what James Harden does and take 6 steps.
Well, she tried to get that hook and get the little extra jump, and I think she skipped her foot there to get it. Travel.
Couldn't quite get herself set. Faulkner tries to go quickly up to Johnson. Got to keep pushing this offensive forward. Hostrawser goes back to Faulkner. She gets past the half-court line quickly to Groves. Back to Faulkner. They're going to try to work get this offense reset. Big thing is just keep calm. Let them just anticipate the pass.
They got that pretty good. South Central's having that half-court trap. They're just
they're running it well.
They just can't get it in.
South Central's going to cause the jump ball. Coming in now is going to be Gale's going to come in. That's going to send Wade to the bench. So Triton will hang on to it. Back to Faulkner. She's going to work up top. Tries to find somewhere to go with it, but both players are covered. She can't get rid of it. Tries to thread the needle, but can't. Johnson tries to come help, but Wildfong comes away with it. Wolf has it now. 2:20 remaining here in the opening period. Up to Gale. Drops back to Tomblin. They're going to kind of wait, trying to bleed some clock here, trying to open up for an opportunity. Triton's just got to keep playing that good defense, keep themselves in this game. Trailing by 3. It's a little too early to hit that panic button just yet. Gale tries to go, but deep 3 for Tomblin's no good. Rebound goes to Biggs. She tries to go back up top to Tomblin. She's going to get now. Leaves it over for Gale. Back to Tomblin. They work it over here. Wildfong in the corner tries to go down to Wolf. Wolf gets corralled. Triton knocks away. Yates comes away with it. Faulkner now with the basketball. Backs herself out. Tries to pull Tomblin with her and does. Yates picks up her dribble. Now she'll get Faulkner. Now she'll come up past the half-court line. Quickly over to Hostrawser. Hostrawser the up fake, works it back. Faulkner gets it now. She's going to try the dribble drive. Back to Yates. Yates is going to drive. Kind of goes to the corner to Hostrawser. She almost loses it for a moment. Back to Yates. To Groves. They're trying to get someone freed up, and this defense by South Central is really giving Triton fits. Tomlin gets her hand in front of it, and she's going to have one quick lane to the basket, and it's going to go up, and it's going to go in. Tomlin's on the board.
Yep, gets her 2 points.
South Central stretches that lead to 5 as we're inside the final minute here in this opening period of the sectional 51 quarterfinal. Hostrawser's going to get trapped in the corner, tries to get herself out, tries to throw it back on top. Faulkner gets a piece of it, but Tomlin's now going to have another free lane to the basket. She's going to go up strong and does. For Triton here to go in that second quarter, they need a basket to get that confidence back on track. Faulkner tries to go and again draw the blocking foul from Wolf. So smart play by Jaela to kind of go against her and use that shift against them.
Triton, they just need to shoot. They're 1 for 1 for shooting. They just haven't had that opportunity to actually just get the ball towards the basket.
Well, in South Central, these girls are just closing in on them so fast. There's not a whole lot they can. I mean, they can't really do anything with the basketball, and that's kind of showed here. And they try to go down. Gale takes it away. 20 seconds now. Wolf's going to have a lane to the basket. And she goes up and puts it in.
Well, it looks like we have a baseline violation trying to inbound the ball.
So Triton will turn it right back over. 13 seconds left. Gale to inbound for the Satellites. Works to Wolf. Hepler's on the defense, but I bet she's going to get her on the reach.
Yep.
So 2 team fouls now for Lady Trojans. 11.8 remaining. They trail by 9. Rudolph gets the 3.
Could see that coming.
Two seconds left. They're just going to dribble it out. So that'll be the end of the first quarter. 14-2 is our score. South Central's up.
Yeah, so for Triton, Lexia Hostrawser having those 2 points, that's her only points there. For South Central, Tomblin having 4, Wolf having 4, Wildfong having 3, and Rudolph having 3. Takes care of their scoring.
Well, in a couple of these, I know those last couple baskets, those fast breaks were kind of things that kind of hurt the momentum of things for them, and that's what opened up that three for Rudolph to go in. But for Triton now, the biggest thing is they just need to keep their composure, just settle down. We know we're down on the scoreboard. Let's just claw our way back. That's what they did against John Glenn. I remember in the Bi-County that they played them. That was one of the best games they played, complete games they played all season. Unfortunately, it didn't translate to the scoreboard. But the girls played a complete game in that one against South Central. I was real proud of them after that game. But tonight they're just going to have to play just like they did against John Glenn, face that team like that, because they have the same players out there. Now they have a deeper roster. Don't have to worry about the miss between the JV and the varsity. So that'll be a good thing for them to have in their back pocket. So Adam Heckaman's going to have a deep deck of cards to play with. So out there now for the satellites, you're going to have Gale out there with Rudolph, Wildfong, Wolf, and Biggs. Hepler's going to be out there with Alyxa Viers, Hostrawser, Faulkner, and Taren Yates. Of course, it's Andy O'Hara alongside Kenny Barnhart and Orion Miller for the Triton Trojan Sports Network as we're live here. Special thanks to our anonymous donation for tonight's game to be able to broadcast. Unfortunately, these games aren't cheap to do. We really appreciate the donation and support from the community to be able to do this.
We do it commercial-free every game, pretty much.
Exactly. You don't have to worry about some annoying commercial. I could sing for you, but I'm not sure everybody's going to like that. I come with a jingle here or two. So South Central will turn it over there. Triton's going to get it back. Hepler to inbound. So we'll see what they'll do with this different look with Hepler and Viers coming in. See what they can do a little differently here to maybe put some points on the board. Viers now gets put in the corner, dribbles the ball back to Faulkner. She's going to work herself out of trouble. Wolf is up on, stuck to her. Yates with the basketball is going to try to split the defenders, goes. Finds Hostrawser, free throw jumper, contested back iron. Viers tries to go in and she's going to get her on the push. Just lost her footing just enough and fell behind her trying to get that rebound.
That's, of course, her first foul and team's third foul this half.
Now, Lex is a player I like down in the post. She can do a lot of good things down there defensively and offensively. If Triton can just let's shake this defense off of South Central, maybe get some chance to get some points up. Viers will be going. Rudolph with a deep three. Not there. Wildfong gets a rebound and not good. We're going to get a foul on Triton, which she'll go to be our first player to the charity stripe. That's going to be on Alyxa Viers. That's 2 quick fouls on her.
44, Alyxa Viers, her second, team fourth. Skyler Wildfong shooting 2.
First free throw's up, and it's off the front iron. And for this team has really evolved as the seasons went on. When you lose a player like Whytnie Miller, who's been kind of an anchor offensively and kind of like that Swiss Army knife that she can do a lot of different things, this team has really evolved. You've seen Delanie Groves just catch fire in those 2 games in the Bi-County, missing both free throws. Faulkner with the rebound quickly. But for this team and what they'll be able to do, this team has played some good teams, and they hung with them defensively. They made teams sweat. That's what they got to learn to play as the ball gets thrown away there as Groves tries to go across. Biggest thing now is just settle down. You're, like we said, cooped up for 3 days. Biggest thing for them now to do is just settle down, just play their game, just be smart, and just communicate. And see if they can shut these satellites down. Wolf now finds Rudolph. Goes to Tomblin. Back to Gale. She's looking down the post for Wildfong, but Hostrawser sealing off. The Triton's going to go that zone defense that they've been playing. They play so well. Wolf now is going to try to dribble drive. Hostrawser takes it away. That's one thing that those girls do really good down there in the low block. They really are very deceptive. Faulkner picks her dribble up.
Yeah, when she tossed that ball, I thought, now way she's going to grab it, and she just up high enough to get a hold of it.
And that's one thing that, even if it's Johnson or Viers, it doesn't matter who's down there in that spot when they try to work down in the block. They're deceptive enough to where they kind of just think, oh, I got a window. Oh, and they close that window in a hurry. That's a good kind of way to disguise that.
Oh, well, we got a second here. We're going to put up a graphic here for what the sectional. It's still keeping the same format, just shoved everything back a few days. So like game 1 with Triton South Central playing tonight. Tomorrow night will be your game 2 and game 3 lacrosse, Culver and Community and Argus and Oregon Davis. And then I believe on Monday, the winner of this game will play the South Bend Career Academy as the first night, or first game of that night. Yeah. And then the game 5 will be the winner of the other 2 games, and then the final will be on Tuesday night then.
Boy, it sounds like a fun mess to deal with, don't it? You know, I was wondering on Tuesday. I was like, I said Monday, oh, they won't cancel it. Oh, there's no way. Sectionals. Well, I was wrong. But at the same time, you got to imagine how tough it was for the IHSAA to figure out, okay, well, how do we push these games back? What are we going to do for that? And if it was going to conflict with other stuff. And
well, I think me and Orion looked there earlier in the week to see there's only a couple games that was even played earlier in the week.
Those were down and those were down and around just south of Indianapolis, weren't they? If I
yeah, they were
right?
Yeah, down in that central area.
Faulkner will turn it over there at the double dribble. She was trying to direct traffic. It was taking too long to set up, and she picked her dribble up, then dribbled again. So South Central has really rattled these Lady Trojans here thus far in the early goings. They lead by 12. Wolf to Rudolph. She hit a 3 earlier. Tries the up fake, goes to Tomblin. Tomblin's going to try the dribble drive. Tries to go through all those trees, but Johnson Hostrawser could look contested. Wildfong to put back. Not there. Wildfong gets the rebound, works it back to Wolf. She's going to try to dribble. Finds Rudolph. She's going to try to dribble down to the baseline. Going to get a bump on Triton. It was on Emma, and it was on Emma Hepler.
That's her second foul. Team's 5th.
So Wolf now kicking on over to Gale. She'll step back, drop to Wildfong. Corner 2 for her is in. One thing for Triton, I don't know if they want to send this team to the free throw line. They were 11 of 19 in that matchup and went off Delanie Groves' foot, and Tomlin will get it back. The ball is just not bouncing Triton's way, and a frustration foul by Delanie Groves.
That's Delanie's. That's only her first foul. But, yeah, now you're getting up to next foul or into the bonus.
I mean, granted, they only shot 58% from the line in that game, but I don't think you want to put a team – that's one thing if you can avoid, at least this early. As Tomlin drops the first free throw, the drop of the game. So checking in, we're going to have Hudspeth, number 21. Wade will check back in. Second one by Tomblin's in.
Tomlin, she's got 6 points now.
And Jessica Soriano is going to check in for Emma Hepler. So Soriano's out there with Faulkner, Groves, Hostrawser, and Johnson. Wade, Rudolph, Hudspeth, Tomblin, Biggs, and Wade out there for the Lady Satellites. Soriano with the basketball on up to Hostrawser. Hostrawser with it. Goes down to Faulkner. That was kind of a hard reach in there by Hudspeth she got away with. A lot of contact in there, and it'll go out. They're going to say it went on Delanie Groves. It looked like it went off on Biggs.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It looked like it just touched her arm there just as it went on out.
There's a lot of contact in that little series there. Rudolph works it on over to Hudspeth. Back on top. Works it down into the corner. They're just going to work the ball around here, see if they can stretch this Trojan defense. 4:45 remaining here in the opening half. Triton's trailing by 16. Work it around here. Faulkner almost got a piece of it. The defense will kind of work it around. Hudspeth with it now, back on over to Rudolph. She'll hold, and they're just going to milk the clock here as much as possible. As Triton's really not threatened them on the offensive side yet. Down in the corner, Biggs is going to try the baseline jumper. Too strong. Goes over top. Rebound Wade, and she'll throw it away. Wade will throw it away. So Groves will now inbound. See what Triton can do here with 4 minutes remaining, so they can knock off some of those points and there. And drops down to Hostrawser. She gets the inbound, look to shoot, but she's going to buck him down the baseline. Back to Groves, to Soriano, to Faulkner. Now, Soriano's a pretty good ball handler. She just needs to kind of keep herself calmed down. She does a good job handling the basketball. Back to Johnson, down to Hostrawser. Hostrawser's going to try to work herself through. Looked like, I was going to say, Rudolph kind of came across there and knocked her on the forearms. She'll commit the foul.
That's her first foul. Team's second this half for South Central.
So Triton here needing a basket desperately. Hostrawser. She's going to try to go up strong to the basket. Puts it in.
Yeah, if they can just get it to where they got a position, they can even just shoot the ball. They're good for 2 for 3 for 2-pointers.
So, but for Lexia, if she can get going, all this season, I know she's had a hard time getting the ball, that ball into the basket. If she can get things going, she could be a real force to reckon with here tonight. Deep 3 by Tomblin's in. I believe 3 3-pointers being made tonight by the Satellites. Faulkner tries to go. Goes up strong, can't draw the way into one opportunity. And that's going to be on Hudspeth.
That's her first, team's third for South Central.
So if you're Adam down there, what kind of things would you be telling the girls as far as on the bench? I mean, even with this deficit, what would you be telling them?
You're going to have to do something to get to the basket. We're barely outside, barely have gotten in past that 3-point line. We're always around the outside, but we just can't get it close enough to even get a spot to even get the ball put up.
Well, and the biggest thing too is like just when the girls get the basket, they're kind of almost seems like they're panicking. They just need to just settle down. Just let that player come up there. If they're going to come up there, they're coming. Be on your lookout, especially if there's got 2 players coming. Someone's got to be open. Be looking for that open player. Jaela Faulkner perfect from the line there, but if you can find that open person and really just slow them down and make them play this half-court game, Triton can get back, and this one's one way or the other. You got some players who can shoot. Hudspeth for 3, puts it in. She was alone for 3 on that one. 4 3-pointers so far here tonight for the Lady Satellites, and that's why our lead looks the way it does. Faulkner out the basketball, quickly on over to Hostrawser. Lexia for 3, back iron. Rebound goes to Wolf. Pushes on up. Hudspeth is going to go. We're going to get a charge. Good job by Lexia Hostrawser. She's been a force on the defensive side and the offensive side for Triton here tonight. Good heads-up play by her.
So Hudspeth, that picks up her second foul.
It was a smart move by Lexia to get down there and get her feet planted. She's really playing hard tonight. Finds Faulkner. She's going to try to split the defenders. Goes up, and she's going to get fouled on the shot. She got to the free throw quite a bit in that Argus game.
So Hudspeth, here's picked up her third foul now. Yeah, Faulkner's had a stretch where she had a little bit of problems with free throws, and then she's been must have practiced during the cold. She's 3 for 3 now.
Hey, if you can go out there and you can practice in that cold weather and you can hit free throws, or even go out in the cold to go somewhere to shoot free throws, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Got both those to Willen, so 4 points from her, all coming from the free throw line. 24-8. Rudolph now at the basketball. Back on over to Tomblin. Works the Biggs who just checked in. Threads the needle down to Wolf. Quick back on top. Tomblin with the up. Fakes on a drive. Shots up, and Hostrawser's fighting for it. We're going to get a jump ball call, and it's going to belong to Triton. So inside 2 minutes remaining here. Triton's got to settle down. Now, that's kind of a smart thing by what Jaela's done the last 2 possessions, just drive to the basket and just get them to hit you. I mean, if they're going to play up on you, might as well use that to your advantage and just make them foul you. Yates with the basketball down in the corner. Wanted to go to Hostrawser. She'll hang on to it. Finds Faulkner. Faulkner's going to drive. Goes up strong. Gets Wolf up there. Looked like she may have got a little more contact than what they thought. And they'll come away with it. Wolf now at the basketball. Leaves it for Tomblin. On over. Rudolph with it. We're going to get a travel. She's going to take a step before she puts the ball on the floor. Head coach Wes Bucher didn't like that one. Soriano with it, quickly on up to Hostrawser. Hostrawser now works back to Soriano. They're going to work things around here. Minute 15 remaining. Yates with it, and now she's going to stutter just enough.
Yeah, Triton's getting where they're cutting through there a little bit more, trying to get that ball a little bit closer into the basket, getting those little bit better looks than they had before.
And that was the right move. I mean, Taren shouldn't beat herself up too much on that one. She got herself in position. When those defenders come up on you, it really can make you stutter to those feet like that. That's what caused the travel. But they are cutting more to the basket, trying to work themselves in, trying to find a way to kind of dice up that trap. Rudolph tries to go down into Wolf, tipped away. Back on top, inside a minute remaining. Rudolph, she'll try another three. Side iron, no good. Rebound, Lexia Hostrawser. Now to Faulkner. These for Soriano. Got to push it here just a little bit. Get another basket before halftime. Hostrawser's going to try a contested three, side iron. Tomlin's going to push it quickly up the floor. High pass to Rudolph. Oh, she got away with the travel there. At least it looked like a travel.
Yeah, she kind of jumped her foot.
Oh. Almost looked like a John Glenn travel over there on that far side. Wolf now, when the fake tries to go and use that height over to Yates. We're going to get a reach. Judging by Soriano's reaction, it's going to be on her.
Because that's her first, and that gets South Central now in the bonus.
So that'll send Wildfong to the line. Side iron, she's 0 for 3 on the night. But Tomlin takes it back away on the inbound. She'll go up and she'll get fouled again, 9.8 remaining. Tomlin's been perfect on the evening for the Lady Satellites.
Number 4, Jaela Faulkner, her second.
So first shot is live. Tomlin made her first 2 free throws attempts. And that trends away. Hostrawser tries to get away, but Tomlin gets away with it. Couldn't corral it. 2 seconds now. Tomlin's going to try a three at the buzzer. No good. That's going to bring us to halftime. 24-8 is our score.
Let's see if I can get this up here quick. So, yeah, for Triton, you got your Jaela and Hostrawser each having 4 points. As far as fouls, Viers had a couple quick ones really once she got in there. Emma Hepler's got a couple. Faulkner picked up that second one there, and then Groves and Soriano each having a foul. For South Central, Tomlin's leaving them with 9, Wingfong's with 5, Wolf with 4, Hudspeth with 3, and Rudolph with 3. So, and they only got Hudspeth with 3 fouls is really the only one that's having any issues on their foul problems.
So as they take a break, stay tuned. Keep an eye on some of those slides we'll put up there for you. At halftime, we'll be right back here on the Triton Trojans Sports Network. All right, welcome back, Triton Trojans fans. We're going to be ready to get the second half underway. Lady Trojans trailing here 24-8. Following halftime now. Now that she's listening, I'll give Danny her little shout out. She's been doing a good job down there. She's been tough. She don't miss many games. She was bummed Tuesday night there wasn't a game. She was all geared up for Tuesday night, but that's okay. But like I said earlier, she was letting all the nurses know down in Cincinnati what Triton's all about. She's telling everybody that's her favorite team. So, and she really gets into watching the girls play basketball. She likes watching them play quite a bit. So, do
you have to tell them what town Triton's in?
Well, kind of, sort of.
Well, I know she wouldn't understand.
She would know. I've had to explain a couple times where Bourbon's at, and they kind of talk. Now, finding out the other night, which I did not know this, my grandpa who fought in Vietnam told me that the COTS that he flew back in on the plane that flew him back to the States, he was laying there and he was looking up at the seat and he said, "Made in Bourbon, Indiana."
Yep.
I did not know that till last night.
Bourbon Orthopedics, I think it was called.
Yep, that's what he said. Made in Bourbon, Indiana. I thought that was pretty cool. So we'll get the second half here underway. Andy O'Hara alongside Kenny Barnhart and the Hall of Famer, the man in the middle, Orion Limler here tonight as he'll stand up and run the camera for us. As out there for South Central is going to have Biggs out there with Tomblin, with Wade, Wolf, and Wildfong. And she'll almost lose it, works it back in. Faulkner's out there with Soriano, Johnson, Hostrawser, and Delanie Groves. Wolf drives. Wildfong's going to try a corner two up off the top side of the backboard. No call. Shot's going to be up by Biggs, and she'll get pushed on the shot, and she'll get to go to the line for two more. That's going to be on Faulkner.
Yep, that's her third already. That's not something you want that quick into the second half.
Especially not her. I mean, she's kind of a big facilitator of the offense. Rattles out. What are they shooting tonight from the line?
They are shooting 2 for 6.
That's what I thought. I thought I only had 2 makes for them. And make that 3 of 7. So Groves will now inbound. 25-8 our score. We'll see what Triton, if they kind of get this offense figured out here in the second half.
Now, if we could get to the free throw line, we're perfect. 4 for 4.
Groves fumbles it just enough. They're going to get a jump ball. It's going to belong to Triton. So Groves will inbound. Faulkner, they're going to kind of work to see if they can split those defenders. Soriano almost slips. Groves drops it to Faulkner. She'll try, blocked by Wildfong, and she'll corral it. Right idea by Jaela to go in there, but Wildfong used that link to kind of knock that one away as Wolf drives the basket and gets it to drop. Faulkner working back to Soriano. They're going to try to see if they can get this ball movement going. Faulkner's just going to try to drive to the basket. Goes up strong and banks closed. Going to be knocked around, and Wade gets the rebound. Assisted there by Wolf.
They're figuring that out a little bit, getting that broke through and having somebody right there at the top of the key getting that ball and got some options.
And that's one thing for Triton's going to be a big thing to go. I mean, but Jaela's going to have to really watch her fouls now with those 3 fouls because she's bound but the only one who's been really able to really penetrate to the basket. Another one that could really penetrate and do a good job as Soriano crowds that one is Taren Yates can do a real good job doing that. As Groves, the sharpshooter for 3, not there. Hostrawser gets the rebound to Johnson. Good look there for her. Bounce the back iron too strong. And we'll get a reach on Chelsea. But you got some players who can do the dribble drive now. Now Abbey Viers is getting talked to down there on the bench, so she's kind of down the inside. She might be checking in here soon. They didn't have Chelsea on the program for tonight.
No, that's what I had to get things squared away on this side. Of course, they had some of it messed up at the beginning.
Yep. Saw that. So that 3 misses. Wildfong with the up fake, tries to go down. Hostrawser takes it away again. She's been really active on the defensive side here tonight. Forcing a lot of turnovers. And it's going to go out as Groves tries to go off. It'll go off her knee. Trying to give it right back to him. You know, and I'm going to say, like I said, looking at the record, Adam's done a real good job this season. I mean, he took something. I mean, these girls were very competitive in that H&AC. Like I said, finishing fourth, they had a 4-3 record in the H&AC. But for them and what they did, I mean, this season wasn't a total loss. I mean, they were real well. They competed really well in the conference. They played a lot of tough teams early on, and I think that made them battle tested. Unfortunately, losing Whytnie there in the Wawasee game really hurt them. But these girls have really grown over this season. I mean, Jaela's really kind of started to develop in certain aspects. And you had Taren Yates really kind of come on. You know, Hostrawser is going to get that shot figured out. Once she does, she'll be a real force offensively and be kind of like that Swiss Army knife, kind of like what Whytnie is when she kind of gets herself figured out. They'll go in there, going to get a push on South Central. But these girls are really starting to figure things out. You'll have Alyxa Viers, who'll be a senior next season. You got Abbey Viers, who's checking in right now. She's got a real promising player that plays well on the JV side. You got Emma Hepler, a player who can shoot from the outside. She's been getting a lot of varsity minutes. You got a lot of players who can really grow this season and who can really make a difference on the court if they can get themselves going. A lot of promising here for these girls. They just got to keep working hard and just keep their composure. They'll throw it away, and they'll go up strong and knocks it away. But Soriano does, and she's going to try to save it, and she's going to force it out. And Soriano's another one who, if she can kind of get herself set around, she's a good ball handler. Will be real good next season. These girls are kind of getting some of these minutes. This team and the chemistry of this team has just really impressed me on how well things gotten tough so far this season, how they've kept themselves going. They, even in the midst of kind of a tough season, they still were upbeat about it and had a good attitude. And unfortunately, that doesn't translate to the record. But these girls, this is a tough team. Wolf now goes up strong, not there. Viers corrals it, but Yates takes it away for the rebound. Soriano now with the basketball, on over to Faulkner. Jaela holds on to her dribble there, works to Soriano. Quick no-look pass to Yates up top there for three. Faulkner the rebound, tries to go back up strong. He tries to get it, not there. Yates still save it. She'll try to keep it from going over and back. She can't corral her. Can't control the momentum there, and that'll be over and back call. She had a good look from three, though. Good pass by Soriano.
Yeah, one of those few open shots that they had that could even take a look.
Because, I mean, South Central's closing on in a hurry. They try to go there, misses that one. Soriano now with the basketball. Goes to Yates. Trap's coming. They're working back on over. Faulkner now is going to try to split the defenders. On over to Hostrawser. She'll try a catch and shoot too. Not there. Knocked around. Yates gets the rebound. Wants to go down to Viers, but gets that lane shut off. Back to Soriano. She'll hang on to it. Yates now is going to try to go through, but get it tipped away by Tomblin, and they'll fight for the jump ball, and it's going to belong to South Central. Of course, tomorrow afternoon we'll have the boys early in the afternoon hosting Caston.
1 o'clock JV tip.
1 o'clock JV tip.
Yep, one of those that's a little different, but since they've moved the girls' sectional up so much, it interferes a little bit with the boys. So you do an afternoon game in case the school had to do a night game with the girls.
And that's, we'll go up off the backboard there. Last year I didn't get to do that game. It was Danny's birthday last year. I couldn't do that game on her birthday. This year, birthday's afterwards, so I'll go down after. I'll go down Sunday when it's her birthday. So. But Soriano now with the basketball. Work lead past the half-court line, loses it, and Gale will take it away. And she'll back out of trouble and leaves it for Wolf. Hostrawser tries to come in. Wolf's going to go up strong and gets it to go in. Alyxa Viers is going to be checking in next dead ball. Faulkner tries to go, and they tip it away again. Biggs now with the basketball is going to come up quickly. She's going to go and tries to draw the foul on Soriano on the shot.
Soriano, so that gets her second, team's third for this half.
So Adam Heckaman's going to take a timeout. You know, like I said, Adam's a great coach. He's done a good job this season trying to get these girls, trying to get them around. And here's at the end of the season. I mean, I think just a little bit of discouragement, a little bit on their end. And, I mean, rightly so. It's been a tough season. It's war on here a little bit. And, of course, the 3 days off didn't help anybody at all.
Yeah, so since that mess, all there, we got right now it's scheduled here for next week. Since a bunch of stuff's gotten switched around and we're trying to get rescheduled, there's quite a few games that's been postponed, but they do not have a rescheduled date at this time. So what we got up on their screen there now is what we see at this time for next week. Of course, that's all like we've seen this week. Depends on what the weather does.
It just depends. Well, it's supposed to be, 50 degrees on Sunday and rain?
Yes. Yeah.
So you never know.
It looks like we'll have 2 broadcasts next week, Friday at LaVille. Is that right?
Yep, it'd be at LaVille.
And Saturday at home against Clinton Christian.
Yep, Clinton.
I will not be here for either one of those games.
Well, we're going to have to eat 2 pretzels tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get 2 because I'll miss that. I might show up Saturday. We'll see how the week transpires, if I'll be there Saturday or not.
At least it'll be an evening game. It won't be another afternoon game.
Yep, so if I do get back, it'll be – and plus it's at home, so it's a little bit closer. Biggs' shot's up, and it's not in. She's 1 for 3. Soriano quickly up to Alyxa Viers, who just checked in. To Taren Yates. Tries to go down to Faulkner. Good look there. Banks closed. And South Central gets the rebound. Wolf with the basketball. Works on over to Tomblin. Tomblin's going to go. Back to Biggs. And the shot by Wade's high off the glass. Not there. Wolf tries to crowd, but Triton takes it away. Yates now with the basketball on the fast break. She's going to try to go up strong. Good look there. Couldn't get the roll. Gale with the rebound. Tomblin now on the fast break. She's going to push it. Yates comes from behind, knocks it away. Taren Yates is starting to come alive here on the defensive side.
Oh.
And then Jaela's going to get with the carry. Now that's something I did a lot in basketball, was carry it. I get going, I get so over anxious that ball would just come up.
Hey, there's an opening. I'm going for it.
I'm going to go for it. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. And I back off, and then I carry it. I was notorious for doing that. Emma Hepler will check in. Gale now works it back. Tomblin's going to try a 3 straight away. Not there, and she'll get her own rebound. Bounces through a few Trojans. Gale steps back, cross court to Wolf for 3. It's in.
So, and Wolf's leading all scorers with 11 points. Because that's her first 3-point attempt for the evening. And she's 4 for 5 for 2-pointers.
Mercy sakes. She's used a lot of that length, and she can kind of create some separation. Yates tries to go up down. Good pass to Viers. Can't get it to roll. Hudspeth, who just checked in, along with, I believe that's Marissa Carr, checking in, number 31. Out there with Gale, Wolf, and Tomblin. Hepler tries to get a hand on it. She can't get herself going. They're going to say it went out on her.
Starting to see a little, I'm not sure if it's really frustration, but just a little more fire. Just trying to get that little more anxious to getting something going.
And it's good because a lot of these girls, every single one of those girls out there is not a senior. So, I mean, this right here is what you're going to be, a few of the players you're going to be seeing a lot of next season. Wolf now with a 3. Not there. Rebound. Viers is trying to fight for it. Yates is going to come away with it. She's trying to get herself out of trouble. Now, Taren's one who has a bright future as a freshman. A lot of good things she can do. Emma Hepler's had some bright spots, and she throws it there, and Hudspeth just gets a piece of it and knocks it away. Tomblin now. There's a bright future ahead for these girls next season. They've got to keep working. Hudspeth now, we're inside the final minute here of the third quarter. 34-8's our score. Tomblin with it. Tries to go, leaves it for Gale. Gale, step back 3 for her, is up, and it's in. That goes a good look.
That gets her first points of the evening.
James Harden saw that's what a step back's supposed to look like. She didn't have to take 6 steps. On over to Hepler, back on top to Soriano. She's going to hang on to it. 30 seconds now remaining. And Yates won't look to pass and go right through her hands. Triton will turn it over. South Central's that trap has just been enough of a thing to Triton couldn't get any offense really going tonight. Not getting very many shots up. Hudspeth now with the basketball, leads over to Gale, but she'll come from out of bounds and come in. I believe that's what the call was.
Yeah, I don't think she was established inside when she caught the ball.
No.
It wasn't one of those out of bound plays where we passed it out of bounds to out of bounds. So.
Yeah. And she was out of bounds and caught the ball before she put her feet down. So 10 seconds left here in the third quarter. Triton trails.
For third quarter, we have not scored, so at least we got to get something, get rid of this goose egg for this quarter.
Force up a three. There you go. Taren Yates with the laser three is not there, and that's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter. 37-8's our score.
So yeah, the South Central put up 13 points in that quarter, and we didn't get anything.
So I want to take another shout out to our anonymous donations for tonight's game. Really appreciate the chance to have that donations to be able to broadcast these games. They aren't cheap. Boys are a little bit more expensive, but we really appreciate the donations and the support from the community, and especially support for the Triton Trojan Sports Network. It's very much appreciated.
I know there last Saturday, both me and you were gone, and I was still getting requests, hey, there's no announcer audio. I was like, well, that's because neither one of us could be at the game. So.
Orion didn't want to talk to himself there.
And he had enough problems going on.
You didn't want to hear what I had to say.
I imagine it wasn't wasn't very positive talk. I mean, oh man, but Orion does work his magic though. He still made it work. So
had to just go old school and keep it simple.
Hey, made it work. Of course, I've been in and out with all the treatments, and hopefully we're nearing down to the last couple weeks. So after Valentine's Day, I should be back.
I knew the Valentine's Day I thought was kind of the magic number.
That's the magic number. As long as she doesn't get sick or the machine doesn't break, and hopefully no weather issues down there. I mean, it was cold down there, but it wasn't quite as cold as it was here. But that's the magic number. Is February 15th. That's the magic number. So Faulkner receives it. She'll work it up to Groves. She's out there with Viers, Hepler, Faulkner, and Johnson. Carr's out there with Rudolph, Hudspeth, Wolf, and Gale.
So right there's Groves. She's only attempted one shot this evening.
Good look for Johnson. Like I said, she's only attempted one shot here tonight.
And she's usually, out there getting several attempts on three-pointers.
Did we get a timeout?
Yep, South Central, I believe, called timeout.
But then again, you look at how quick South Central is. Just corralled her. They just ran her off the three-point line. She can't get any separation. None of these girls can get any separation. But what they did, they're trying to now with Chelsea down there with her length and her height. If they could just throw it down to her, that's where I said tonight she could have played a big role, kind of catching that basketball, being a little bit taller than everybody else. But for trying that trap is just so overwhelming in that first half. It just kind of put them down.
Yeah, you just can't get in past that three-point line to even get anything established inside.
So they'll break huddle and come back out. The lineups are unchanged.
I'd like to see our three freshmen who haven't played varsity. Well, I can't remember if they played varsity or not. They haven't played varsity in this game, but
I don't think
Doll
and Jolie
and Hedington. It'd be nice to see them just get out there. That way next year when they are playing, they're not going to have the nerves of this is my first sectional game.
Yeah. Or they don't quite know, or even if they
just that excitement and the pressure, I'm going to say, on a sectional game.
The way they kind of know what to expect when it's coming to them. But like I said, there's a lot of promise with some of these girls. And if we can just kind of get the offensive side figured out, things will follow because they got the foundation of that defense already set. This team is very good defensively. Won't have a real tall big next season. Madeline will be kind of one of your taller players. Shot by Faulkner's up and gets the back iron. Of course, you got Abbey Viers. She's got a little bit of height because you'll lose Chelsea Johnson this season. So it'll be a little more interesting. They won't be as tall. Unless there's an incoming freshman I don't know about. Johnson corrals that one just enough or contested enough. Now we got a jump ball and it belong to South Central.
Just as long as we get through this game as like we did last year with losing Whytnie, 40 seconds to go in a game and messing up your knee and then basically carrying it over into the next season.
And it's good. She had the brace off tonight as we saw there in pregame. Hope she can get back and get to play a little bit of softball this season. Hope Jaelyn Bules is okay. She's still going through concussion protocol.
They're going to say she carried?
Yep, she said he carried it.
I don't. Here, I'll watch the replay. We'll just see about that. This will be TTSN see it, not NBC see it.
Well, hopefully we can get things squared away. We can actually get replay for everybody else.
Well, Wolf will get the inlet pass and gets it. Yeah, she did. She flipped her hand around. Just quick, couldn't really catch it. Groves couldn't look at him, was over anticipating the pass, was expecting that defender to be there on top of her. Faulkner now is going to drive, leads it for Hepler. Viers with it. Now Emma, like her brother, can really do a good big thing by hitting threes. Faulkner's going to try one of her own front iron. Rebound Wolf. That's one thing Emma does well. I'm sure she learned that three-pointing shot or stroke from her brother. So Taren Yates is going to check back in. And I believe she's going to come in, and Delanie Groves is going to come out. So Gale gets the inbound. She'll work out there. On over to Rudolph. Gives it to Carr. Carr, top the key, drops it down into Wolf. Wolf drives. Tries to go up against Faulkner and travel.
Yeah, yep.
Gonna say.
Because it should have been travel or almost a jump ball because he had her hand on that ball. So
I was going to say, it didn't look like a reach from this angle. .5:23 remaining here in the ball game. South Central up on top. So split there. Rudolph gives it. Yates comes in and steals it away. Yates will try to spin herself out of trouble. Tight ropes the half-court line on her to Hostrawser. Hostrawser. Back to Hepler. Faulkner not the basketball. Up fakes is going to try to drive the basket. Tries to go up strong, and they're going to say a blocking foul on Rudolph. So Jaela will go to the line. But for our team, I mean, we got a lot of good sophomores. I mean, you got Hostrawser. When she gets that shooting stroke figured out, Lexia can put up points in a hurry. You got Emma Hepler. We know what she can do. I mean, handling the ball and then her defense and shooting the basketball. She's another one who can do some things. We know what Jaela can do. She's played varsity all the last 2 seasons. So there's a lot of promise. You got Abbey Viers, another one who could be probably playing some more varsity minutes next season. There's a lot of promise down there. I mean, you'll have Alyxa Viers and Soriano will both be seniors next season.
well, she 5 for 6 from that evening, so that just missed that last one. Otherwise she kept a perfect streak going for Faulkner.
So Jaela's leading all. Is she leading all of our?
Yes, she has
scores?
5 points now.
Carr with the attempt, not there. Rebound Chelsea Johnson. Faulkner's going to try to split and go down the lane, goes up and gets it blocked by South Central. I believe Carr might have got a hand on that one. On over to Hudspeth. Hudspeth picks up her dribble. Looking for Carr down in the post, finds her there. Back to Hudspeth. Corner 3 for her is up. It's front iron, no good. Rebound to Wolf. Put back for her. She didn't quite test for it, and looks like we got a foul on Triton. It might be on Faulkner. And it is.
Yep, so that gets her 4th foul. The team's 4th for this half. Now this will be her first appearance at the free throw line.
So far, so good for her. Tomblin will check back in. Biggs will check back in. And so will Noveroske. She'll check in. I got to say her name. So Hudspeth now will try her second free throw. Made the first one and follows suit with that one. Yates, Hostrawser, Johnson, Faulkner out there, and with Hepler for the Lady Trojans. So worked on over to Hostrawser, 4:06 remaining. Yates leads it for Faulkner. Tries to go down to Hostrawser. Ball's tipped around. I'm going to think Noveroske might have gotten around there just enough to knock it, to draw the foul.
Yep.
She kind of reached over top of her to get in there for that one. As Wildfong and checking in tonight, Anthony will be checking in. I'll send Hudspeth and Rudolph to the bench. So Faulkner's going to try to inbound. Tries to find Johnson in there. He'll bounce off a few Lady Satellites as he'll go out. But for these Lady Trojans and what they've done this season, it's been tough, but they've battled through. Got to be real proud of how well they've really worked this season to really turn out a pretty good conference season. Yates now with the basketball. To Johnson on the baseline. Looks for Hostrawser. She'll try the F fake, try to bring the defender with her. Back to Johnson. To Hepler. To Faulkner now. She's going to try to dribble her way through. Picture dribble up. Back to Yates. On over to Hostrawser. She's going to try a corner three. Rattles out. Good look. Got herself squared up. Had a nice release on that one. Just couldn't will it in the basket. 3:25 now remaining. Works it down in. Noveroske's going to try to go, but she'll lose the ball on the way up. And instead it'll stay here.
Yeah, I'm going to say I think that would come off of her hand.
That's kind of what I thought, too.
Well, they're not going to reverse it.
It looked like that. I mean, we could clearly see the angle. It looked like she kind of went out on her. Shot by Tomblin's up. It's side iron, not there. Faulkner with the basketball now. She'll push it up past the half-court line. She's going to try the fast break going coast to coast. She's going to get hit by Noveroske.
I wonder if she stuck her knee out more because the way Jaela kind of hit and just bounced and
kind of spun around. Yeah. Johnson gets a good look on the inbound, puts it up and in. Chelsea Johnson reopens the bank with that one. Biggs now with it. Works it on down. Noveroske's going to try to go baseline, back on top. Tomlin will drop it back down to her. Give and goes there, and she's going to go up strong with that one. Left hand, not there. Tomlin gets her on rebound, but Emma Hepler's going to come in and fight for the jump ball. Triton gets it back. Delanie Groves is going to check in, and Emma Hepler's going to check out. Yates will inbound to Faulkner. She'll set the offense. 2:40 remaining. Hostrawser with it. Back to Yates. Like to see Delanie Groves get a basket here. Yates tries to go off. It's going to go off the foot of Anthony. Groves will inbound to Faulkner. Faulkner now drives, backs herself back to the three-point line. To Yates. Now to Groves, top the key.
But she just can't get that open look.
She can't get enough separation. She's moving around enough. They just creep up on her. She can't get a shot off. Inside 2 minutes. Johnson with another look. Not there. Rebound goes to Biggs. Tomblin now past the half-court line. Workley clicks over to Wildfong. Biggs with the drive. Blocked by Johnson. Tell you what, that's been fun to say this season.
Minute and a half to go.
So Yates working over to Groves. Works it down in and taken away by Noveroske, but Taren Yates gets in there. We're going to get a timeout. Not sure how he could call a timeout. She didn't have possession long enough to call a timeout.
Yeah, so she kind of had it, but not say long enough for them to say they had possession. To.
I was going to say that was very questionable there for me.
And I'd like to give a shout out to our Triton Elementary robotics teams. I think they're going to be at a scrimmage tomorrow. You want to call it that?
Yeah, be over at South Central. They have kind of a
South
Whitley. They'll have a Oh, they more of a competition, kind of a scrimmage type of thing to be able to test out the robots. And
so what kind of things do they do with the robots?
it's kind of a playing field, and they've got every year it's different. They have two people for each team for one robot, have 2 robots on there, and depends on the year. Sometimes you still work with the other team even though they're opponent, but you got, because the way they do it, you get points, and then your robot keeps getting more and more points throughout the day. You might have different drivers for the same robot, but that team of 6 or 8 people, and then at the end, then they kind of put a big competition together. But they have to push cones, pick up cones, stack cones, different things of how the cones ends up is how you get your points.
Very interesting. I think that'd be kind of interesting to watch.
You think you could call that?
It's only a minute.
Hey, I talk fast.
It's a minute.
We could do it.
They run a minute, and then about 30 seconds in, you switch drivers for the robot.
So Faulkner stole that one away. And Wade will come in and block it away.
Wade, that gets her Wade's first foul. Team's 5th. See if Jaela can get her back on track, as she does. 6-7 for the evening. Free throws.
So Delanie Groves, the senior, will come off the court for the final time in a Trojan uniform, as will Chelsea Johnson. Those 2 girls have been kind of the glue for this team this season. I've heard nothing but what they've done for the underclassmen and the younger players as they'll finish their Triton career out here. Both were a lot of fun for our first 2 interviews of the season. Had a lot of fun interviewing them. Wade gets the rebound inside 40 seconds. And she'll lose the ball, and Triton will get it back. Student section getting a warning there.
I definitely wouldn't call it a pep block because I don't think they've stood up the whole game.
No, I don't think they have. I think everybody's been pretty well seated.
The thing is, when you do get a sectional, there's all sorts of different rules and regulations that they throw in effect that you don't have during a normal season game. So I know they're allowed, they're noise makers, and even sometimes where they can even sit. Supposedly, like Trent can't even be out from the free throw line.
Huh.
Taking pictures.
Did not know that.
He hasn't really been taking a whole lot of pictures.
Probably not tonight.
Like we said, tomorrow we'll have the boys will be hosting Caston. We'll have that game for you. So JV tips off at 1. The Varsity will be immediately following that one. As Carr will get that one to drop.
What's the outlook for that game?
I'd have to look.
Okay.
Been kind of running the household on my own, so I haven't had the backup I had to usually do my homework.
I don't usually think about looking at it until the day of.
Well, I usually do it like 3 days in advance if I can, have everything all set and ready to go. And fortunately, with Michelle and I kind of being split different places, this kind of been, I really appreciate all the stuff she does. Let's just leave it at that. Anthony with us. She'll dribble out here as the Lady Trojans will fall 43-15. That'll be it for them on the season. So stay tuned. We might have an interview with Adam Heckaman, but
he said he'd come up. It might take a while. I imagine he's going to have a talk with these girls to sum up their season and whatnot.
So, we'll give a little bit of a rundown for South Central. Leading their scorers was Wolf with 13. Tomblin had 9. Hudspeth had 5. Wildfong had 5. Gale 3. Biggs 3. Rudolph 3. And Carr with 2. For the Trojans, leading the way was Faulkner with 7. And Hostrawser having 4.
So we'll take a quick break here, and we'll give it a little bit and see if Adam comes on. We'll run some slides there with the tournament schedule along with some of the stuff going on next week. So we'll be right back here on the Triton Trojans Sports Network. All right, welcome back, Triton Trojans fans. Andy here alongside head coach Adam Heckaman. Coach, it was a little bit of a tough night for the girls tonight.
Yeah, it was. We came out and we weren't as sharp as we needed to be. And there's one thing we talked about is South Central was very good at turning turnovers into points. And then they did that early. Once they jump on you, it's hard for us to catch up.
And that trap defense they were just throwing at you guys from the get-go, they were there. Every time you turn around, they were there on the ball about every time, and the girls just had a hard time getting that figured out. And, of course, the last 3 days not going through a normal routine, that could have hurt a little bit tonight as far as on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I think that did hurt a lot. We weren't able to get into practice with the weather and school closing. I think we got one practice for an hour this last week, and I think that showed a little bit tonight. But, I'm sure they were probably in the same boat. The things we worked on were open. We rotated Jess out there and got Jaela flashing in the middle like somebody actually wanted to flash there, and she got that ball in there and started to be aggressive with it, and that's what we needed from the beginning, and we just didn't quite get it from the beginning. And like I said, when you get behind and everything's that much more pressure to make every shot and get a stop, and South Central's too good a team for us to stop them every time.
Now you talk about Jessica and then Jaela. As far as next season, those kind of players like that, you got some building blocks, players you can really build off. You got a real good sophomore class, a bunch of those players seeing a lot of varsity minutes. What kind of things are you looking forward to going into the next season?
I hope they want to be in there. That's something we talked about afterwards. We're going to miss Chelsea and we're going to miss Delanie a lot. They did a lot of things for us this year. Delanie worked so hard the last 4 years to get to where she could play a lot of varsity for us and got that opportunity this year. Chelsea came in as a sophomore and learned what we needed her to do, and gave us a lot of good minutes this year, and led in rebounds and blocks and things like that. We're going to miss those two, but like you said, we played a lot of young kids, and that's what I told them in the locker room. I said, moving forward, we know what we need to get better at. We just got to want to get in the gym and do it. We'll be there as coaches, and if they're willing to be there as athletes, I think we can get a lot better, and we can be ready to compete next year.
And like one thing I said during the program or during the broadcast is, you look at what Chelsea and Delanie brought, that leadership, that when things got rough, especially with Whytnie going down, the girls, between those two, every interview I did, it's what Chelsea and Delanie are doing to keep everybody kind of tied in, keeping the chemistry going with these girls, and that chemistry that they did have. I mean, you'll have some of that next season, but you won't have those kind of. Be interested to see who's going to be the glue that Chelsea and Delanie were. That's going to be kind of a hard hole to fill.
Yeah, we're going to miss, like you said, we're going to miss the things they do on the court, but the support they gave to everybody off the court. Like I said, Delanie understanding that she didn't play a lot last year as a junior. She got in and out, but she had a great attitude about it. She helped keep everybody's attitude where they needed to be, positive, and contributing where they could. And we're going to miss that out of those two. We're going to need somebody to step up, possibly. Alexa as a senior, if Whytnie is able to come back next year and play, I think she can fill that role. And to guide our sophomores and freshmen, that'll be juniors and sophomores next year. And if we can do that, and like I said, get in the gym and want to get better, I think we got a good shot at doing some things next year.
And there's a lot of, and I know you look at the score or as far as the standings and the schedule and the record, it doesn't try to translate. But what you guys did in the HNAC really is a true testament of how well you guys coached these girls up. I know it was tough going on, but I give you big props there. What you've done with these girls, you got the most out of them. You guys were 4-3 in that conference. That right there, that really speaks to how hard you guys work and how hard they worked to get to that 4-3 spot.
They worked hard. We talked about that too. Whytnie went down, and it could have really went sour. It took us a little while, but we made some adjustments and figured some things out, and the girls did a good job. And we finished in the top part of the HNAC again. And with the way the conference was this year, I thought that was a pretty good achievement for us. You got North Judson ranked in the top 5 in 2A. They're ranked in top 30 in the entire state for that matter. And then, Winnemac has been ranked different times this year, and Knox has been ranked in 3A. And so for us to lose to those three teams, we can't hang our head about that. And then we were able to get by Pioneer, who only lost, I think, 5 games all year. I think we snuck up on some people there and got the wins we needed to finish where we wanted to in the conference.
Yep, and that defense that your girls play, they do it so well, and that kept them in a lot of ball games. They were able to kind of grind it out and hit shots in certain moments to really put themselves over top. But like I said, sitting up here, it was fun to watch the girls as far as develop this season. Even when things were tough, they still found a way. They kept working. They kept their heads up and kept fighting on. That to me is a big win in my book. I know that doesn't translate to a scoreboard or to your schedule, but I'm real proud of how you guys and the girls did this season.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm real proud of them too. And like I told them in the locker room, I think we came a long way, and we know how much further we want to get for next year.
So we'll sign it off with that. This is Andy here signing off with head coach Adam Heckaman. We'll see you next time.